I remember the day vividly, as if it were yesterday. The air was thick with the promise of rain, and the dense forest seemed to swallow every sound, leaving us in a cocoon of eerie silence. It was supposed to be just another hike with my friends, a way to escape the monotony of everyday life. Little did we know we were about to stumble upon something that would haunt our dreams forever. The forest was dense, with towering trees that blocked out most of the sunlight. We followed a narrow trail, our footsteps muffled by the thick layer of fallen leaves. The rustling of branches and the occasional call of a bird were the only sounds that accompanied us. As we ventured deeper into the woods, a feeling of unease settled over us, like unseen eyes watching our every move. But we shrugged it off as nerves, attributing it to the eerie atmosphere of the forest. It was Sarah who first spotted it at a faint glimmer of light through the dense foliage. Intrigued, we pushed our way through the underbrush, our curiosity overpowering our fear. And that's when we saw it, a gaping hole in the ground, hidden beneath a canopy of tangled roots. The air around the hole seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy, sending shivers down our spines. But despite the warning signs, we couldn't tear our eyes away from it. It was as if the darkness beckoned to us, promising secrets beyond our wildest imagination. With trembling hands, we approached the edge of the hole, peering into its depths. A musty odor rose from the darkness below, making us gag. But beneath the stench, there was something else, a whisper, barely audible, yet unmistakable. "Do you hear that?" Mark whispered, his voice barely above a breath. We nodded, too afraid to speak. The whisper grew louder, filling our heads with a cacophony of voices. They spoke in a language long forgotten, their words twisting and coiling like serpents in the dark. Without a word, we knew what we had to do. Ignoring the warning bells in our heads, we descended into the depths of the hole, each step taking us further away from the world we knew. The staircase was ancient, its steps worn smooth by the passage of time. With every step we took, the air grew colder, the darkness more oppressive. But still, we pressed on, driven by a curiosity that bordered on madness. It felt like hours passed before we reached the bottom, though in reality, it was only minutes. The air was thick with the smell of decay, and our footsteps echoed off the damp stone walls. And then we saw it, a vast chamber, bathed in an eerie green light. Strange symbols adorned the walls, glowing faintly in the darkness, and in the center of the chamber stood a pedestal, upon which rested a single pulsating orb. Without a word, we approached the pedestal, our hearts pounding in our chests. As we reached out to touch the orb, a voice echoed through the chamber, sending chills down our spines. "Who dares to disturb my slumber?" We froze, our blood turning to ice in our veins. Before we could react, the chamber erupted into chaos, the walls closing in around us, the ground shaking beneath our feet. And then, darkness. When I woke, I was alone, the chamber empty save for the orb lying at my feet. I stumbled to my feet, my head spinning with confusion. Had it all been a dream, or had we stumbled upon something beyond our comprehension? As I made my way back to the surface, the forest seemed to welcome me with open arms, as if nothing had happened. But deep down, I knew the truth, that we had unlocked something ancient and terrible, something that should have remained hidden. And as I emerged from the forest, I made a vow to never speak of what had happened, to bury the memory deep within my soul. But try as I might, I could never escape the feeling that the darkness had followed me home, lurking just beyond the edge of my vision, waiting for the day when it would reclaim what was rightfully its. And so, dear reader, heed my warning, for there are things in this world that are best left undisturbed, secrets that should never see the light of day. And if you ever find yourself standing on the edge of the abyss, remember this: sometimes it's better to let the darkness win.